Welcome to Titla Games YouTube channel. This is Emily's story. She was sitting in the cafeteria that day when her closest friends approached her. Sarah looked away as she said, "Emily, we have a favor to ask you." At that moment, Emily had no idea what kind of trap they were about to set for her. Sarah, Jessica, and Rebecca had been Emily's closest friends since they started high school. For 4 years, they had shared everything together. At least, that's what Emily thought. It all started 3 months earlier. Sarah had approached Emily saying, "Emily, I'm in real trouble. I need $1,500 urgently for my mom's surgery. I'll pay you back next week, I promise." Her eyes were teary, and she spoke with a trembling voice. Of course, Emily helped her. How could she not help a friend in need? She immediately transferred the money to Sarah's account. A week later, Jessica came to her. "Emily, my dad's business failed too. We can't pay our house rent. Can I borrow too?" Oh, she asked. Her face was pale, and she looked genuinely worried. "Of course, Jessica. We're friends after all," Emily said. She gave her the money too. 2 weeks later, it was Rebecca's turn. "Emily, I'm short on my college registration fee. Would $1,000 be enough?" she had said. Emily gave it to her as well. This continued in the same pattern. Every week, someone would come to her. Sometimes they all came together. They would say, "Emergency situation. We'll pay you back. You're our only hope." Emily's family was financially well off. Her father was a successful engineer, and her mother was a nurse at a private hospital. Emily was lending her friends not only her allowance but also the money she had saved up. After 3 months, she had given away a total of $12,000. None of them had paid her back, and whenever she brought up repayment, they always said, "Wait a little longer, or I'll definitely pay you back next month." That day, when they approached her in the cafeteria, it was obvious they wanted the same thing again. "Emily, we promise this is really the last time," Sarah said. "I need $3,000 to pay my dad's credit card debt. The bailiffs came to our house." "Okay. But," Emily said, "when are you going to pay back your previous debts?" "It's $12,000 in total," Rebecca responded angrily. "Come on, Emily, you've become so materialistic. That's not what friendship is about. Are you keeping accounts when we're in trouble?" At that moment, doubt crept into Emily's mind. But she still said, "Okay, I'm helping you one last time." When Emily got home that evening, she was shocked while looking at Instagram stories. Jessica had shared a photo from a luxury restaurant, writing, "Amazing evening with my favorite friends." Sarah and Rebecca were also in the photo. Emily's heart started beating rapidly. How could they afford to eat at such an expensive place? Sarah had said the bailiffs came just a few hours earlier that morning. The next day at school, Emily was going to confront them about this, but by chance, while going to the bathroom, she overheard them talking in the corner of the hallway. "This Emily is really so naive," Rebecca was saying and laughing. "She even bought the lie I told yesterday," Sarah continued. "I also got another $3,000 with the bailiff story. This girl is really like an ATM." Jessica giggled and said, "The best was my dad's business failing lie. My dad got promoted last week." Emily's world collapsed. The people she had considered her closest friends for 3 years saw her only as a source of money. At that moment, she confronted them. "Is this how people who I thought were friends for 3 years talk?" Emily said, her voice trembling. They were all surprised. Sarah tried to cover up. Emily, you misunderstood. We were just joking. Which part was a joke? Emily shouted. Seeing me as an ATM? Or lying to me? Rebecca took an aggressive tone. Oh, come on, don't exaggerate. You're a rich family's child anyway. This money doesn't mean anything to you, then why don't you pay it back? Emily said. Because we know you're not after this money, Jessica said. You already have everything. At that moment, Emily realized these weren't real friends. Real friends don't use their friends. Real friends always pay back when they get help. Real friends don't talk behind their friends' back like this. There's nothing between us anymore, Emily said and left. The following days were very difficult. She was left alone at school. But at least she had learned the truth. 2 weeks later, something unexpected happened. Sophie from their class approached. Emily, I want to tell you something, she said. I heard how those 3 used you. I'm really sorry. Emily was surprised. How do you know? Because they're doing this to others too. Last year they did the same thing to my cousin. They took $5,000 from her and never paid it back. At that moment, Emily realized she wasn't their only victim. Sophie continued, but I have good news for you. The school principal learned about this situation. Several families have filed complaints. They'll be called to the principal's office tomorrow. The next day, Sarah, Jessica, and Rebecca were indeed called to the principal's office. They had taken money from several other students at school and never paid any of it back. The principal had called them along with their families. When the families learned about the situation, they were very angry. They were forced to pay back all the money they had taken. A week later, Sarah approached Emily. Her eyes were red, as if she had been crying. Emily, I'm very sorry, she said. What we did was very wrong. We knew you were a real friend, but we used you. But why? Emily said. Why did you lie to me? Because we knew you were kind-hearted and wouldn't refuse us. But in doing this, we ignored our friendship. Now I understand what a big mistake we made. They had returned the money, but trust couldn't be restored. Sarah, thank you for returning the money. But we can't be friends like before anymore, Emily said. From that day on, Emily's life changed. Now she thinks twice before trusting people. But this didn't make her a bad person. It just taught her to be more careful. Sophie became a real friend. She stood by Emily during the difficult time and showed her the truth. Now Emily is in her senior year of high school and looking back, she understands that those 3 months were a very valuable lesson for her. She learned what real friendship is. Real friends never use you. Real friends don't lie to you. And most importantly, real friends come to you when they need something, but they don't disappear when they have nothing to offer you. That was the most valuable lesson Emily learned that day. Understanding that it's not about how people treat you, but that friendship is built on mutual respect and trust.